Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am Holly Lovegrove and this is Holly Lovegrove Beauty. If you are not new here, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about flawless foundation routine. So if you'd like to know how I do my foundation and learn some tips and tricks that you can use on your foundation, stay tuned. Alright guys, so today we are going to be talking about flawless skin and foundation and how to avoid it being cakey. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Before we talk about foundation, let's have a little chat about skincare. It's not going to be like an in-depth skincare talk. It's just going to pretty much tell you that before you can get any sort of foundation or anything to look as flawless as it absolutely can be, skincare is so important. Everyone kind of has their own routine, but it definitely is important to be in some sort of routine and to take good care of your skin. And yeah, if you guys want to see a tutorial on my skincare routine, just let me know in the comments below and I would love to do that for you. So without further ado, I have done my skincare. I have done my moisturizer. I do like to let that sit on about 10 to 15 minutes before I do my makeup, just so that my skin has time to absorb all of its wonderful goodness. And yeah, then I like to jump into the rest. So before I do my foundation, I love to use the Kiehls Daily Reviving Concentrate Drops. These are amazing. They make my skin feel amazing. And I love the smell of this. So this is supposed to correct the appearance of fatigued skin, which I do feel like it does. I just take a couple of drops of this onto my hand. I rub it together like so, and then I just pat it on. Like so. I kind of always just take a little down my neck. That's just my preference, girl. So I will tag below if you're interested in the Kiehls drops, where you can pick them up at Kiehls, of course, but I'll just send you directly there if you guys want. So yeah, next is finding an amazing face primer that you love. I recently, actually a few months ago, found the No Poreblem face primer, which in my opinion just completely takes away your pores, which I do kind of struggle with pores. So this makes my face feel so smooth, and my pores hardly visible at all. I did pick this up at Sephora. I can also tag that below. So I just take a couple of squirts of this, and then I just rub it in. The amazing thing about face primers is that they literally make them for almost every, not almost, they do make them for like every type of skin. So if you struggle with dry skin, if you struggle with pores, if you struggle with maybe redness, they do make color correcting face primers. They have a face primer for everyone. So what I like to think about is, if you were going to paint a wall, you would use a primer first. You wouldn't just jump in and paint it. This is the biggest thing. You need to prime your skin before jumping in to painting your face or using a foundation, because this is just gonna hold it all together. So after that is done, I love how this makes my skin feel. All right, so next is foundation. I go back and forth between using a beauty sponge, using a beauty brush. Today, like most days, I'm gonna be using a beauty sponge, and I am going to be using the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundation. I am the color 220 Natural Beige. This is absolutely one of my favorite drugstore foundations. So I'm gonna take that and just take a couple of pumps here, 3. So what I like to do is I like the center of my face to get the most coverage. So I just kind of dab this and then start blending it out. I do want to say you do want your beauty blender to be wet first. That helps kind of just blend this out. It keeps the sponge from absorbing all the product in here. I feel like a lot of people don't know that, or they don't do that. So you definitely want to wet it. You don't want it to be soaked, just wet enough to where you can feel it wet, obviously, and then start your routine. So like I said, I like the center part of my face to have the most coverage, and then I kind of do the outer part here and then around, and then the same on this side. I do take this over my eyelid just because that's my personal preference. I like to have that kind of built up on my eyelid and make my entire face same color before I start. And then kind of blending down on my neck just to make it all come together. So then I feel like a common problem that a lot of people have is they want more coverage, or they want to cover something up. So what they do is they go in with more foundation over their whole face just to cover up 1 or 2 spots. I like to have more coverage here around my nose. It is kind of cold and allergy season, so I feel like I have to blow my nose a lot. I like to have more coverage down here around my nose. So instead of just covering my entire face with foundation again, I will just go in with the smallest pump like that and just kind of take that around my nose. There is no reason for me to take more product around my whole face when all I want is a little more coverage on my nose. Taking that around my nose rings is always the most difficult part. All right, so then going in with concealer. Today I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is in the shade Fair Warm. So I do just use the applicator that comes with this. And then I just start by making a triangle under my eyes. And you do want to use a concealer that is 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin, because we're using this to kind of brighten things up. You don't want it to be the same color as your foundation. So I also do a little bit up here. I do a line down my nose and then on my chin. I also take concealer and go around here on my nose, just because I feel like I lose my foundation there the most throughout the day. So then I'm gonna go in with that same sponge and start working this out. The same with foundation, you never, ever, ever want to swipe. You always want to dab. If you do take the blender and you swipe, you are just moving product around, which can just cause streakiness. And girl, ain't nobody want that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So you do just want to dab, 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 dab. If you are not familiar with using a sponge, or you're just starting out, I will tell you that it kind of seems like you do it a lot, but the more that you do it, so no swiping, just dabbing. And then I do take this as well up on my eyelids. Then down here around my nose. And then you can just see how much brighter that has made our under eye. All right, so next I am going to be using a powder. I've really been loving the Becca blurring powder, and this is in the shade Pink Haze. So what I like to do, I'm actually gonna use, this is a little Morphe brush, and this is typically what I use for this. So I just take this into the powder. I like it to be kind of heavy under my eye just to set this concealer and bake it in, which is what is gonna cause your concealer to stay all day. So I like to just bake that in. The powder will be visible until you brush it away, but that is what is going to just lock your concealer in. I feel like a lot of people don't really do this, and then a couple hours in, they'll start to notice that it is fading away. This is gonna lock it in, girl, so it does not move. So I definitely like to pack it on down here around my nose, or wherever I feel like I lose my coverage throughout the day. Nothing like just breathing that in, and then I just take a little up here and then down on my chin. So I do feel like kind of around here a little bit I lose coverage throughout the day, so I don't want to pack it on like I have the rest. I'm just gonna take this a little bit and just kind of work it into my skin so that it sets that foundation. Then I am going to, where I highlighted down my nose with the concealer, I am going to just take some powder over that. So like I said, this is what is going to kind of hold it all on. It's going to keep that foundation, that concealer from moving. So girl, you need to set yourself with a powder. All right, so then after it does set, I like to take a clean blush brush. Any sort of big brush like this will kind of just brush it away, which is what you're gonna do. And I like to just take that and go in and brush that powder away. Like so. So I am going to jump off camera, go do my brows, and I will meet you back here for the last step of my flawless foundation. Okay, so brows are on. The last part of this is finding a really good setting spray just to hold everything together. I absolutely love the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. I feel like this makes my face feel amazing. I love the way that it smells. Just like primer, they do make setting spray for every type of skin. If you like matte, if you like dewy, if you like whatever you like, they pretty much make a setting spray for that. So that just holds everything together. And all that hard work, girl, you don't want to go in anywhere. So you need to set it. All right, so that is it for my flawless foundation routine. I hope that you learned something cool today, some awesome tips and tricks. Let me know how you do your foundation in the comments below. Let me know what you'd like to see in the next video, and I will get back to you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button before you leave, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.